I love popping rare achievements here on my couch. When it comes to grabbing gamer score, I am no slouch. I might play Halo, but not Nintendo. Chivos, woo! Every day I'm out there popping Chivos, woo! If I'm daring, I'll play hard games, Chivos. Jonesing for some Xbox, but my darn kid's playing Roblox. What to do? Make him grab me some Chivos. Woo! Everybody loves to pop some Chivos. Woo! Someone carry me to co-op Chivos. Woo! No Game Boys here, no trophies here, no Chivos. Woo!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. Class is now in session for level 21. Before we get started,
we're legal.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
You still can't, Kenny. You're too young.
Look who's talking.
But our podcast can drink.
As you heard, first up that's with me is Corey, or Rocker Dude 5012. How you doing now that we are allowed to drink on this show?
I had my flavored water and I'm doing fine.
I will toast you my monster.
That's really bad for you.
What's your point?
Nothing. You're young. Your heart can handle it.
Exactly. I need the caffeine to keep us up through these late night recordings. L.
What are you talking about? This is 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. Good morning, good evening, good day. I mean, you don't know what time it is.
And also joining with us is, I have no idea how to segue out of that one. With us also is L, or Big L. How's it going?
Hello.
Oh, good. We can hear you finally.
Sucks to be you.
All right, then. And also with us, we have the return of Nate, or the Koosh of a Moose. Did I do that accent right?
Yeah, that's exactly how my mom says it.
Yes. Awesome. All right, so before we get started, as always, we want to go ahead and give out the shout-outs to our community members and our proclamation point. Corey, if you'd take it away.
All right, here we go. Coming up on the top of the point, that is the proclamation, is Saucy Slingo. He's currently on a 1,700 day achievement streak. It's a lot of days to get a lot of achievements.
And I think the Patriots are on a 2-game losing streak, just saying.
Oh my gosh.
That's relatable. The Tominator 177, who, if you didn't know, is one of the backbones of the show here. He helps us out in a lot of ways, edits our shows, and supports us, and we really appreciate him. I don't know if we've ever said that. So, thank you, the Tominator 177. Anyway, he is now in the top 10,000 on the USA True Achievement leaderboard.
USA.
Tommy.
Familiar voice Kronos is now in the top 10,000 of the max possible completion percentage leaderboard. And
Good job,
Chin
Max.
Doctor has... Let me back up because this is kind of a big one. I don't want to just throw it in there. Chin Doctor has reached a new milestone, 1 million TA.
Woo.
No one could see you put your pinky on your chin like that, Corey.
That's an Austin Powers reference.
Yeah,
I do
very
know that.
good.
But I've never seen the movie.
It's not worth seeing.
I don't care
Oh.
Gold member sucks.
The first one is worth seeing.
I mean, I'm not against it, but anyways, I am against this guy. I mean,
Who?
Prowlix. He reached a new milestone. He has a 75% completion percentage right now. That's pretty awesome.
Way to go,
Because
Pro.
we know that he includes a DLC now, which is the only way to go.
Exactly.
Awoo has reached a new milestone of 17,000 achievements won. And Big L is now in the top 2,000 of the Gamerscore leaderboard. That's pretty good.
Way to go, El.
Oh, why, thank you.
There's only 1,999 people ahead of you for as far as Gamerscore goes. And the only place that counts, TA.
Keep it up.
B. Smiddle has hit his goal for the year, which is 375,000 Gamerscore total, I believe.
Good job,
So that's
Smitty.
very good. Good job hitting your own gamer goals. And Redemption Denied, of course, the winner of the GTASC single, and really the biggest earner in the team side too, is Redemption Denied, and he has hit a slew of milestones that includes 1.8 million gamer score, 59,000 achievements, 1,350 completed games. He's in the top 5 of completed games leaderboard, and he has 3.4 million TA. So
He's
hats
just been
off to you,
dominating
sir.
our proclamation point these past few weeks, thanks to GTASC.
I tell you, he's the beast from wherever he's from, and he's the beast from the great state of America. That's the only one that matters.
Close enough.
I'm just kidding. We love all states and countries, right, guys? Across the
In
globe.
America, definitely.
And yes.
Not Canada, though, right?
What's this? How does South Park say it?
Blame Canada.
There you go. And one different proclamation point is a happy birthday to listener Black Buff.
Happy birthday!
Happy cake day.
Yay. Hope you jump out of your cake in the buff.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing those milestones with us, everybody, and congratulations. Job well done.
Way too
Even
good.
having a birthday.
Good job on being born.
Yay.
And surviving.
Now, didn't you say you were also going to do a special live tracking?
This just in, folks. What's his name? I should really. I know his name. I want to get it, super correct. That would be Fighter X 93 Chip. He has hit 500,000 gamer score. Woo!
Way to go, buddy.
We did not forget you. We just wanted to stand you out. So congrats to you, Fighter Chip. LMAO.
Good job, Austin.
All right, so we want to do things a little differently this week. Instead of doing news like we always do, especially since it's been a little bit of a slower news week, we kind of want to do a retro look at 2018, end of the year, and it's been a good year for gaming at least, and we just want to take a look and see what we've done throughout the year, give the achievements we've won, some of our favorite gaming memories. All of us have been through a couple of boosts or multiplayer sessions, L. But yeah, we're just going to take a look at 2018, see how we all did. Let's start with you, Nate. What have you done in 2018? You got any good stories for us?
Well, I don't know about stories, but I've earned an achievement or two here or there. Looking back, trying to figure out where I've been this year, I'd been told by Big L many times that I have not focused enough, not had enough achievements. I'm a little too sporadic with what I play and just not sticking with anything. So I took that to heart a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah, I took it to heart a little bit, and it kind of shows in my stats this year. Nothing huge to brag about, but for me, these are my stats. This year, 2,449 achievements versus last year's 2,546. This year, I pulled in 77, almost 78,000 gamer score versus last year's 61,000. I apparently worked on some harder achievements this year because my ratio is 1.79 versus 1.66 last year. Achievement a TA score of 139,000 versus 101,000 last year. With 156 games started versus last year's 208. So I have been a little better 50-ish games better, 60-ish games better at not starting as many games. So it's improvement. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm just going to say it's improvement. And as far as games played, I focused. I buckled down. I only played 319 games versus last year's obscene 381 games.
So that's about
Yeah.
one new game a day.
Yeah, so I did what I could. I completed 53 games this year versus the 27 last year. And of those games that I completed, I'm pretty happy with two in particular because they had been long-standing games or long-standing boosts. The first was Battleborn. We had a group going at that pretty hard for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and it just kind of petered out, and then there were maybe 4 or 5 of us kind of straggling, trying to get it done and doing a lot on our own. But it was great to finally get that game done and off the Xbox. Move on to the next thing. Shout out for the group. Yeah, we had. Well, I'm gonna miss somebody. I know it. I'll start with Tommy because he doesn't get his name read enough. Tominator was in there. Freem was in there. We had Mattism. We had Saucy Slingo. We had Mighty Mango? No, not Mighty Mango. I think who else was in there?
Akaraka.
Yeah, Akaraba was in there very, very at the very beginning, just for a few days. We had CSS Geek Squad or CS Geek Squad. Sorry, I got my HTML confused with my gamer. I know we had some other people, so I apologize if I forget your name at this point. But then the other long boost, or what felt like long, was Evolve. And basically, I had picked up Evolve when it first came out, and then dropped it like a bad habit. And then they announced the server closures, and we got a bunch of guys were interested in playing it again. Once again, it was kind of my usual group of Mattism and Saucy Slingo, and we just kind of crunched through that. I feel like there was somebody else. Doughboy. Yeah, Doughboy was also with us working on Evolve. And we got that done. I think all of us got it done before the servers closed.
Nice.
So I was pretty happy with that.
We should play that sometimes, though.
Yeah, there was the B team. What happened to the B team? You guys were supposed to be giving us some competition.
Thanks, Corey.
We started and dropped another game after that.
As far as notable games or games that I remember the most, not necessarily completions, you'll sense a theme. And if you know anything about me, the theme's not that hard to guess. The notable games for me this year were Dead Cells and Owlboy and Yoku's Island Express. But on top of that, I'd say Skyforce. The Skyforce Reloaded and Skyforce Anniversary, I think, was out before Reloaded. Those games are just fun, pick up and put down, just short gaming experiences, and they're kind of what I'm able to play these days that I really enjoy. And there was also the Hawk and Boost. That was nice to kind of crunch out a bunch myself, but then get carried across the finish line with your Hawk and Boost group. So that was
Hawk and
also
Boost group
memorable
was
for
the
me.
best.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm hogging the mic, so I will step down and let someone else talk about their year.
Oh no! If you have anything else you want to talk about, by all means, go ahead, have at it.
Well, I was also looking at my best month. And my best month last year was August. I got 10,000 gamer score, 16,000 TA with a 1.66 ratio, 8 completions, and once again, the theme of that was closures. If I looked at the games that were completed or the games that I was focusing on, it was Deformers. So I played Deformers once I heard that the servers were going down. Kind of rushed that out. Unfortunately, I was gonna dual box it, but unfortunately, there was no developer support for that. So when the X came out, the X1X came out, they did not make whatever change they needed to make so that game could run on the Xbox One X. So I was not able to dual box between my OG Xbox One and my X1X. So I ended up mailing a copy out to Mattism, and Mattism and I spent way too many. I say we spent like 3 nights in a row that we were up way too late 3 a.m. or something. Yeah, just getting that one done before it was all done. That was also the same month, August, is when Evolve was completed for me, and then also Tekken 7. I believe that Tekken 7 was leaving Game Pass, so just kind of crunched through that.
That was another free weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was one of the free weekend games that I love it when those come around and it's a game that I'm actually interested in. I definitely try to squeeze those games for as much as I can, and I was actually able to complete that one, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you were like
yeah.
the king of free weekends in 2018. If I recall.
Yeah, there were a couple weekends that I really did everything I could. Yeah, I think Onrush was one. Super Bomberman R. I got a lot out of that. I think I got everything except for the DLC, and I did not want to pay 15 or $20 just to get another 3 achievements or 6 achievements, something silly like that. So I kind of left off on that one, and hopefully it'll come out Game Pass or something. And then there'll be a sale, and maybe I can complete it at that point. But yeah, that's all that I had left. I was kind of thinking about for that year.
You had a pretty good year.
It wasn't bad. I'm not complaining.
Nicely done.
Corey, would you like to give us your year in review?
Yeah, absolutely. 2018 was by far my best year as far as achievements go. I unlocked over 2,600 achievements, which amounted to 89,000 plus gamer score. Had I looked at this a little bit earlier and paid attention to it, I probably would have went for 100,000 in a year because I could, and I could probably do it in the rest of this year. We have 2 weeks left, but I just can't push it with family coming in and whatnot. That 89,000 gamer score equated to 131,000 TA for a ratio of 1.48, and that was 176 games that I started versus 259 that I played. Both of those numbers are massive increases over last year, about in the 80 to 90 range as far as games go, more that I played. As far as completions go, I completed 47 games thanks to game sharing and the lovely quick games that came out this year. All of the Radalaikas and a couple ACAs. They're not the easiest, but yeah, I can never do that. Do those very well. As far as TA goes, my best month was April, and this was around the time when I was getting a little squirrely in the GTASC TT. So I was popping my Minecrafts at that time. So those definitely helped by a couple thousand as far as best month goes. Highlights of the year for me is in February I hit my goal of 100,000, and I immediately switched gears and went right for the next milestone, and went ahead and set it for 150,000 by the end of 2018. I hit that in August, so way ahead of pace, and I went ahead and set another goal for 200,000 by the end of March, which happens to be my birthday. So I'm ahead of pace there, and I hope to hit that early 2019. Once I hit that, I don't know if I'll focus on a gamer score or not, but I'm sure we'll talk about 2019 goals in a different episode.
Yeah, we'll save them
for big years as far as milestones go for me. From hitting 100K to 150 to almost squeezing out 200,000 within the same calendar year, which is pretty big for me with the playtime that I get, especially when we added on the podcast. That took away a night or two a week just for podcast stuff.
I hear that.
I also had a goal of completing games because in the past I hadn't completed that many, so I wanted to hit 50 by the end of the year, and I hit that in July apparently. So nice. Yeah, the end of July. So I actually beat that by almost half. Anyways, as far as games go, the highlights of my year, I split it up into single player and co-op. Single player probably is Spyro. I don't know if that's the high of just completing Spyro in the past few weeks.
Oh, it's definitely a high.
But
game of the year
I don't
right
know. I don't know. I was looking through the whole list, and that game gave me probably the most consistent enjoyment, and I didn't want to put it down until I beat it all. So I can't say the same thing for Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah, Spyro definitely for me as far as single player goes. Some of those achievements were very satisfying because you have to get 120% and 100% on the first two games, and there's some tricky ones, but it was just it was a fun completion, and it wasn't a quick one. So that really satisfied me is from beginning to end. Now, turning back the dial to co-op gaming, which I don't do too incredibly often, especially since we've kind of had a hiatus on boost nights, but it would probably be Temple of Osiris, the Lara Croft game, isometric tomb raiding game.
Yep.
I played that with good friends Matriarch, Big L, and Toad Style Venom, and it was a fun time. We started it in 2017, but we finished it in 2018. And basically, if you don't know how the game works, you enter tombs. Each tomb has a challenge list, and that includes points, miscellaneous stuff, and like collectibles. And so we went in and we played the game exactly how you should have played it. We didn't look at guides up front. We went in blind, and we figured it out. And then we probably looked at guides for speed runs because each one had a speed run. You remember this game, right, El? Did you have a good time?
I did.
Yeah, it was really satisfying, I think, when we completed it, because right before that was Plants vs. Zombies, and I mean that was an okay completion, but it was just standing in front of me and kill me 100 times as the pea plant.
Right.
Where this was more of we had to take some skill and we had to work together, and in order to achieve this, and we all achieved the completion at bam 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 right after the other, and that's always cool to see to me. So just had fun playing that with you guys, and hopefully we can start something up, get that going again, at least once a week or something.
Come 2019, we definitely want to start adding a couple more community boost groups, like we've mentioned about in the past 2 episodes, I think it was, or something like that. Sea of Thieves, I know we want to start off, but we definitely want to start getting some more community boosts going. But yeah, you've been crushing it this year. You've gotten a ton of achievements, hitting milestones left and right. You've had a really good year.
Yeah, it comes to a lot of it comes to getting these quick games and getting a lot of gamer score quickly and fast and easy, because I don't have the highest ratio, but I was also focusing on just community stuff at the beginning of the year, and that really motivated me. So like I wrote down some honorable mentions for games that were close to me in 2018, and those two were Teslagrad. If some of you may have been around in the Z to Z days, RIP in peace. But we kind of on a whim created a game of the month system within Z to Z community in January with Agents of Mayhem, and that quickly turned into Teslagrad in February. And this was recommended by Koosh, actually, and the master of Metroidvanias, and it was. Not only did a lot of people participate, which helped because we all talked about it, and we all talked about how to get this scroll, and this is the one that really threw us off. But it was a good game. It was the perfect length, and like I said, a lot of people participated, and it was a good experience all around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Matriarch was actually tracking the stats, and it was funny. It was like really fun to watch us kind of rock the boat on TA. Like the stats just like jumped for that month on that game, especially.
Yep, it actually cued me to buy the what do you call it? The spiritual successor, World to the West. Although I haven't
World to the West
gotten very far in that one yet, but I do look forward to it, and it does remind me of Teslagrad in some ways. And then the last honorable mention was Hawken, like you've mentioned previously, right around the time we started this the community, right before. Actually, it was before. I had been we were talking about finishing Plants vs Zombies, and I was trying to get Elle in the group to play Hawken because I started this in 2016. It's a free to play game. The TA on it is crazy for what you can do in that game when you boost it. And I finally got them to do it, and we did it in like 2 sessions. And by the time we were done, we had brought in at least 5 to 6 people, and we got them through it. I think we very efficiently formed how to boost this game in order to get some people done in a single night. Obviously, with a lot of people obviously with a lot of people who are already done with it and they don't have to get the kills and stuff, they can be more fodder. Helps, but we brought in a lot of people and then helped a lot of people, and that was probably the only time I got to play with Elroy. And
oh my gosh.
That's where the June bug emoji comes from. If you frequent our Discord server, good times. So
Prue broke that night.
Yes, he did. So that almost made the top list, but it was a good experience as well. So
all right, it sounds good. Yeah, and real quick with the Z to Z Game in Months, was it the developer for Teslagrad that actually took notice of the Game of the Months? I remember it being for one of the games. Maybe it was for
no, it was for March's Game of the Month, which was Manny Sammy.
That's what it was.
Yep. It went Agents of Fun, Mayhem, Teslagrad, Manuel Samuel, Sea of Thieves. Oh, and then I'm kind of starting to lose it. State of Decay too. Maybe that was the next month. But yeah, it was fun there, and it kind of did die off. But it's always fun when the community plays the same thing and talks about it. So
I guess I'll go next with my year in review. It's nothing nearly as impressive as you guys. This year I earned a little over 1,100 achievements, which wound up amounting into 32,000 gamer score or 47,000 TA. Got me a 1.45 ratio. I mean, like I said, nothing too impressive, especially for this group. That's going to change in 2019. Overall, it looks like I started 74 games, played 99, and I completed 13. So, couple of the achievements that I really stuck out to me that I really liked. My highest TA and coincidentally gamer score achievement that I earned in 2018, once again, is from Hawken. I think that's the main attraction of tonight's show. That's the main game, and I think that's on all of our lists, at least for one of our favorite boosts. That the achievement is Finisher 3, which is getting 100 kills while enemies are repairing. That one got me 784 TA and 200 gamer score for a 3.92 ratio.
It took you what, like I don't know, 30 minutes to get that with all of us boosting it?
About that.
Yeah.
You guys, like you said, you guys did it in 2 sessions. I was only there for 1. You guys went through, I think you guys got 3 or 4 of you done. And then I came in the second week and you helped me get it. Prue, Elroy, Koosh, I think Stan. I think that was all. If I'm missing someone, I'm sorry. It's been a while.
I had been playing, and I had been playing naturally by myself to kind of get primed to the point where you guys could just carry me across. I had earned 0 kills while someone was repairing.
I believe
so
that.
Yeah.
That's not an easy achievement.
No, 100 was ridiculous.
It's not an easy achievement if you're doing it legit. But yeah, that was my highest achievement this year. And I also went back out of curiosity. The first achievement that I won this year was Whatever It Takes from Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is actually one of my favorite games. Definitely one of my favorite games that I played this year. I actually earned that January 1st, so apparently I was playing New Year's Day.
Yeah, I was kind of looking back at just because it kind of relates, at my highest ratio achievement, and it was from Shadow Complex, the remastered version, And I remember
Good game.
it is a very good game. A lot of people, well, a decent amount of people got it, but apparently haven't put a lot of time into the new one because my highest ratio was killing 5 enemies with 5 shots without reloading. I remember having some difficulty with it, but I did unlock it on June 1st, so I'm guessing it was an RTDL achievement because, first of the month hits and you're gung-ho and you just go for it. So that's usually how I play, at least.
My highest achievement ratio I got was from Rocket League, which I know everyone loves. We've done a bunch of community sessions with that as well. It was best of the bunch and it got me 75 gamer score and 481 TA, and that was a 6.41 ratio. It's a high ratio. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's from the latest title update.
What was the achievement?
Best of the bunch.
Do you know the description? I don't remember the name.
I'll be honest, I had it and I forgot it already.
If it's that high of a ratio, yeah, most likely, or at least it was a title update.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was from the tournament, but either way, no big deal. But yeah, that one, really high ratio on that.
Yeah, it's earned the MVP award in any online tournament match.
Okay, so it was from the tournaments. That's what I thought. A couple of us got together for that to get that done. I think you, me, Elle, Michelle, I think Prue was with us. Actually, RedemptionDenied joined in with us for a little bit. Fug.
Yeah, I'm still missing one achievement from that game, from that update. Now, score a goal while in a club match. Wait. That's what I'm missing?
You're missing that?
That doesn't seem right.
Huh. Well, I mean, we can get you that real quick.
No, I think this was the one where you have to play one club versus another club, and we were trying to match up, but we were just not being able to do it.
Yeah, that one wouldn't work for us for whatever reason. That one was being stupid.
Yeah, because you can't do private matches. It has to be online matchmaking, which made it more difficult.
Correct. And we can never find who we were playing against or randoms in a club. And a couple other stats I kind of found interesting. Now, these are from the Microsoft Xbox Year in Rewind or whatever they called it. I don't know how accurate these are. These could be very off. But apparently, throughout the year, I've played 722 hours. 572 of them was in solo, and 150 of them was in multiplayer. And this one was with Elle, but my most played games was Borderlands 2, and that was 93 hours. So with that, Elle...
Whoa.
Yeah.
You've played Borderlands 2 for 92 hours?
Yes, 93 hours this year.
And you don't have the completion?
Yes. So that brings me to this point. Elle, Prue, and Michelle. We have got to get this stupid game done. That's a lot of time for us not to have that completion.
I was going to make another point. Half of that time is probably loading screens. I mean, waiting for you to log on. Definitely not me.
Oh, no, I was going to get there. I'm sure a lot of that was idling time of me sitting in the main menu for 45 minutes waiting for someone else to get on, not mention any names. Or
definitely not me.
Just kind of chilling, waiting for Prue to come back from peeing.
All right. I just got the free 60 from Black Friday, and I got Borderlands 2. I'm going to help you guys, and we're going to complete that game before the end of January.
For real, though, we need to get this stupid thing done. We have spent so much time in that game.
They call me the Borderlands Magician. I'm going to get you... We're going to fly through this game.
I'm signing up. Take me. Carry me.
We will go. Well, I got to make a character first. Oh. But yeah, we can do it.
See,
it'll take me 5 minutes.
We started this game, and specifically... myself, Michelle, and Prue, we wanted to play through this legit. So we didn't just off the bat go get all the power weapons and the god mode and all that BS. But at this point, give me the BS. I'm done.
Yeah.
I just want
Yeah,
this
I'm not
game
gonna.
done. It's
I'm not gonna
overstay its
pad
welcome.
anything here. Yeah, it won't be the legit way. It'll be the semi-legit way.
That
This
is
is not
fine.
the
I've
scenic
got
route.
all that stuff in Borderlands 1. I want it in Borderlands 2 now. I want to get this completion.
Well, the thing is, you're talking about the 360, right?
Yes, yeah, we're doing it on
Yes.
360.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you get that completion, you upload that character, and you're gonna get a lot of pops on the Handsome Collection version. So
That's the plan.
you want to do that before. I mean, they have not mentioned any server closures, so don't twist these words. But I mean, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I will be deeply, deeply saddened if they say that the servers are going offline before I get this completion.
But yeah, mark it down. We will get that completion in before February. How about that?
Sounds good. One other stat of when I was looking at how many hours I played, and I didn't quite realize this until I thought about it, but apparently I had 59 hours into Grand Theft Auto 5, which was
Really?
kind of weird because I'm like, I've never played that game, but then I realized, oh, my nephews come over and that must be their go-to game. I would have thought it was Fortnite, but apparently they really like Grand Theft Auto. So yeah, I've put almost 60 hours in.
So wait. If you're 12, how old are your nephews?
How did you even have Grand Theft Auto? Did your mom buy it for you?
Well,
That was your wife.
obviously Brooke got it. Duh. ID and all that BS. But yeah, I just kind of thought that was a little funny. I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, what? But then a couple of the, gaming highlights that I have. First and foremost was getting to 100,000 gamer score. And
Whoop whoop. Foof.
yay! And hence the creation of the term of foof. I think screw you, L is. I think you're
That
the
was
one that started
Corey.
it. Oh, was
no,
it
that's
you?
Corey. That's Corey.
Okay, sorry.
I'm trying to
Al.
make it worldwide, or at least
That's all, Corey.
TA wide.
Screw you, Corey. Then.
You're famous.
Yeah.
But
Your unit of measure.
Every
I'll
boy's
take it.
dream.
That's fine. And if you haven't heard the episode, the achievement I got the 100K on was from F1 2014. I got the achievement. It's about time because it's about time I got to 100K. But then the other two boosting sessions that I've been part of, one, I'm not gonna go back through since we already talked about Hawken, and the other one was we spent a lot of time in Halo this year. Myself, Corey, Saucy Slingo, and Fug, and four of us have been playing through Halo 3, Halo 4, and Halo ODST. We've gotten a ton of stuff done in Halo Master Chief Collection. I personally have unlocked 156 achievements in the Master Chief Collection alone this year. We've gotten all kinds of that stuff, and we really need to get that going again.
Yeah, I did I don't know how many achievements it is, but I've done 25% of the game MCC this year. I don't know. I'm good leaving it like that. Apparently, I have 61 hours in it.
So when do you start China?
The Canada version.
Oh yeah, the Canadian version. Sorry.
I mean, I would be up for it. I know probably no one else in this community besides Prue would be up for it.
Well, you have to foot the bill for the Chinese Xbox. Is that? Or I'm sorry, the Canadian Xbox. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
If
Why
that,
don't you worry about the American version first?
oh, I was
Or
just
the
about to say
other
that.
region.
If it turns out that that's the last Halo game that I need to get the completion, or the series completion, I should say, I might be tempted to get that.
Oh.
And it's more Halo. I love Halo. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind playing these campaigns 10 times over because I played them 10 times over, way back when. So, and actually now I'm looking at Master Chief Collection. I've got 75% of it done. I got 450 achievements in it. So,
Is there any one particular? So, of all the achievements that you can get in the Halo Master Chief Collection, is there one that sticks out?
one that sticks out. Let me go through this list real quick. Now, off the top of my
That's
head,
not a thing.
I would,
Yeah.
well, I want to try to get a good one. Off the top of my head, two that really stick out. One, I just like it just because it's so simple and it's kind of funny, and it has a really high ratio. It's like a 4.0 ratio or something like that. Was to launch a warthog for 5 seconds or more and have it land and kill someone.
Oh.
It was actually really, really easy to set up for it by yourself. And like I said, it has a high ratio. And then the second one that it was just difficult, but our group was able to do it, was completing Halo 4 on Legendary in under 3 hours. They're the two that stick right out of my head.
Did we do that?
Yeah, we did that.
Cool.
I did it at least. I
I
assume
don't-
you did.
You were in my group, so I'm assuming we did too. But
I would say you were in my group, but okay, that works.
all right, there, buddy.
Yeah, we need to get that group back together. We need to get this game complete. I'm almost there. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how close you are.
I hope to not play as much Halo Master Chief Collection this next year. We'll see.
Okay, well, in that case, if anyone wants to take his spot,
I mean, if we get the group, if we get the gang back together, then I may reconsider. But we'll see.
and I just noticed if the TA tracker is correct, I have 227 hours in Master Chief Collection. So this sounds like the perfect game for Elroy to play. Yeah, I think that'll about do it for me. How about you, El? Well, how was your 2018?
Holy shit, Foo. For someone who plays 3 games in a year, you talk for a long time.
Well, you got me talking.
Sitting here, all patient.
It's not easy for him to just sit there and be quiet.
No. And the kitchen was too far away to make a sandwich. It's ridiculous.
Well, good thing you have those cookies right there next
I
to you.
had those cookies.
They're gone now.
Yeah, now they're ready to come out the other end. Anyway, my 2018...
All right, let's keep
my 2018 proved to be a fruitful one.
Like those raisins and those cookies you had?
Yes. I had lamented that I thought I was about to partake in a delectable chocolate chip cookie, and it wound up being an oatmeal raisin cookie. But
You poor soul.
But if you dunk them in coffee, they're all the same. So, delicioso. Michelle actually brought it to my attention last week that I had hit 100,000 gamer score for the year, which amazed
go.
me
That's pretty good.
because I was not going for it. I had no idea. And looking, so I have 100,765 so far, and last year I had 47,000. So that's quite the jump.
Seems low for you.
Way to go.
I don't know. I don't think so. It's about right, I think. The year
Think
before
so?
that, 45,000. Yeah.
All right.
And
you.
obviously, the main culprits are, like you said, Radalaika, sometimes you, and ACA games.
No.
And of course, we had an influx of ID at Xbox codes come our way, so that helped a lot. I mean,
That helped games played. I don't know if that helped a lot of.
some of them
gamer
were,
score.
a lot of quick and easy.
Some of them, yeah.
A lot of quick and easy games this year came out.
Sigi, a fart for melanoma.
Ooh, I never even got to that one. Melanoma? I don't think that's right.
Salmonella.
You had a lot. Yeah,
Melaleucinia. Close enough.
I was trying to think if GTASC was to blame. Michelle and I made it through July, which is
That's pretty
decent. Yeah, it's about halfway mark.
That's pretty
My
good.
best month
Did you
was
use all your
June-
bonuses?
Too soon. Wait, is it too soon? We're still making fun of Foof getting eliminated in February, right? Leave me alone.
You're not wrong.
Looking at my list of what I played in 2018, it's a lot. There's 280 games played. So it's hard. There's one Z to Z game of the month that you forgot. That was
Which
one?
one?
Of my favorites. And that is Bard's Gold.
I said
yeah.
that.
Did you?
Yes.
I didn't say it when I was naming them off. I never got into that one that far. Why was it your favorite?
Because I completed it.
Well, that's easy.
One thing. Was it
Yeah,
enjoyable?
it was actually very enjoyable. It was
There
a
was some good chatter on that game, too.
roguelite, like a beginner's roguelite game. And a roguelite is when you die, you carry over some of the things you have earned during that playthrough. So that was a good one. TA wise, my highest completions were the aforementioned Hawken and Lara Croft Temple of Osiris, along with an interesting outlier of Chess Ultra, which was another game that went on sale, and a lot of people nabbed it. And there's solutions for every single thing in the whole game, but it still stands at 2740 TA score. It's very weird to me.
That's the one that had like the 32-person tournament,
yes.
right?
Yep.
Chin took care of that one for everyone, so that was good. Thanks, Chin.
Him and his 31 alts.
Yes, he's the chess whisperer, along with and the comrades whisperer and everything else. He'll always help you out. What other fun games did I play?
Good on him.
Yeah, you see, you can get quick 1Ks. There was another weekend game, Conan Exiles. That was great.
That was a memorable boost for sure.
Yes.
Never forget that kill.
Console commands and boobies and peepees and late shift and all these crazy games. Turn on. Ugh.
I'm still milking Turn On for challenges.
Whoa.
Turn off.
It's not the best phrases to
Oh,
put together.
I'm excited.
But, okay.
I want to know when the next Turn On is coming out. Like, that game is just so good.
Oh, it's fun.
You liked it?
Off.
Oh, yeah, I liked the game, but it was also just fun, just knowing that you could go in there and get 3,000 achievements.
Yes, each time you played.
Yeah.
And
Did you not like it, El?
I did like it.
Oh, okay. The way you said it, I thought you didn't like it.
I thought it was a good length. I'm not clamoring for a sequel, quite honestly, but I thought it was good.
Well, not necessarily a sequel, but a game that's got the same kind of milking ability, and it's fun to pick up and put down, put a little bit of time into, and just kind of like get those achievements.
Oh,
I have nipples. Can you milk me, Greg?
Whoa, hey now. And actually, a recent completion I got was Twin Robots, which was just featured on GameSwap with Elroy and Exe the Hero. So that was interesting to
Love those guys.
to play that one right after that. Completed Her Majesty Spiffing this year. I'd recommend that one to everyone. It's a hilarious game. Man, so many games, so little time. I can't wait to make goals for 2019 and talk about that in the upcoming weeks. But I think I'm good to go.
All right, well, looks like we all had a really good 2018. Maybe you guys a little bit more than me, but no big deal. I still had a good 2018. One last thing we want to get to before we close out the show is we want to talk about 12 Days of Christmas. At this point, all 12 days have been released. And also with us this week, we have, Koosh Moose with us. And he has been doing the, what do they call it? The Chin Doctor difficulty.
Chin Doctor difficulty, that's true.
How's that going for you?
Well, I should probably mention when I was on previously a few weeks ago, I think I murdered the definition of the Chin Doctor difficulty. I apparently was confused last year, and I carried that into this year. The challenge was basically you play the 12 days challenges just like the song. So if you're on day 5, you're going to do day 5's challenges, then day 4, day 3, day 2, day 1. And on day 6, you start with day 6 challenges and you do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as well. That being said, it sounds crazy, and it is. I thought I completed last year, but when I went back and looked, I only made it to day 8 that way. And then I had to...
Still really good.
Yeah, I had to drop out and then move back into just like the regular mode. This year I did worse. So I guess the challenges are tougher, or life is tougher. I made it all the way through day 5, so 5 down to 1. And then I just started 6, and I said, you know what? It's not happening. Not if I want to get some other things done this year. So I did 6 and 7 normally, and I'm just going to carry it out and try to get some of my other goals done before the year closes out. And that's kind of how I did my chin doctor difficulty this year. Maybe next year will be better. I don't know. I don't know if more people. I think more people were competing in it this year, or at least talking about it. So it'd be interesting to hear if anyone in the community got farther, how they did with it.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of talk about the 12 days on our Discord.
I think even Chin gave up on it because
Oh, did he?
there was
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
I missed that.
there's one sticking point. We'll get to it.
I think he, quote unquote, gave up on making it happen on that day, but he's still going for it, I believe.
I think he's
Yeah,
going
he
away
added
soon.
an extra rule. Yeah. He had an extra stipulation on his, which was it has to be done each day has to be done within a 24-hour period, and that's an extra level of crazy.
That's insane. That's
Yeah.
a lot. Well, you mentioned it, El. Why don't you go ahead and talk about your 12 days and also mention the what's holding Chin up.
Okay, well, last week I believe I had finished number 7, which was the backwards compatible games, and
Right.
challenge 8 were the collectible flagged achievements, and I believe that was the sticking point for people to keep finding collectible after collectible after collectible. So
That makes sense.
You'd have to do that, what, 1, 2, 3,
8
4,
times
5
12.
times. So 5 times 8, 40
Oof.
collectible achievements.
Yeah, that's a lot. Halo Master Chief Collection, where are you?
The problem is you have to do 8 a day
Yeah.
on top of the other stuff, and not.
And
That's
you
true.
find stuff you haven't done already too. I wound up using Life is Strange because each optional photo counts as a collectible for one reason or another.
Good
So
option.
that worked.
Not a
Very
quick
good option.
option, but
It was actually pretty quick. I had gone through the story with Michelle, so I knew the story of the first chapter, so I just ran through going for the photos. So that was good. And then challenge 9 was spelling out Christmas. And I wound up using Super Destronaut, which I hadn't played yet. Because if I'm not in GTASC, I tend not to play the easy 1Ks unless they come up in a challenge and give me a reason to play them. So I used that for 4 of my letters. And I used ACA game a couple times. I had Gun, which was an RTDL achievement. Gun, by the way, is an excellent precursor to Red Dead Redemption, and it's a game not many people talk about, but a lot of people on TA have played it.
I thought Red Dead Revolver was the precursor to Red Dead Redemption.
Well, on the 360, then okay. Even though it's in itself a PS2 port.
And Red Dead Revolver is fantastic. Just saying.
It was a good game.
And to finish off, I used Boss 101 and Samsara.
Good game.
And as it stands now, the reason I've been slacking Rocker is because I was waiting for Michelle to get up to Challenge 10 as well for 10 Dudes a Jumping, the platformer games, because we were planning on going through Human Fall Flat together.
oh, you wanted her to carry
That's
you. I
exactly
got it.
correct.
Makes
I'm not
sense.
going to lie about it. So, interestingly enough, if you play in local co-op, you could only choose one profile, and it only pops for the host profile. But I guess if you play online, one person could do the work, and it pops for everybody in the session. You've had experience with
That is
that?
correct. Yes, I have.
That's weird.
Chin carried me, and
Yeah, I noticed
another
that.
person.
So that's where I came up with the idea. And for the ID at Xbox game, I'm probably just going to pick something like Energy Cycle Edge and just plow through that and get that done.
There are some guides out there,
There
now
are.
for that game. Good guides from what I've heard.
Yes.
I will probably be hitting that up very
I
soon.
believe there were video guides at once, but Dwaggy took the time to put them in picture form. That made it a sub-hour completion now.
Sub-hour completions are the best.
Haven't quite planned out day 12 yet, but I think that one will be more jumping around from game to game than focusing on one game. But I've had a lot of fun with this contest.
You actually mentioned Boss 101. That was another Z to Z game of the month that we forgot.
Was it?
It
Was
sure
it?
was. That's your fault.
It
Yeah.
was. I kind of
We
forgot
all
about
missed
that.
that.
I actually liked that game, so
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was about 20 of us in the Z playing that game. And on TA,
well, it helped that it was free but not free.
and on TA, there's still only about 400 people with that game. It's crazy.
Only 3 people bought it.
If that.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, not bad. Good progress. Personally, for me, last week I ended off with having day 5 completed, so I had to go through day 6. End of last recording, I was started day 6, and as of right now, I've got day 6, day 7, and day 8 complete, and the C for Spelling Out Christmas in day 9. It might have been you, Corey, that had it, but like for Challenge 8, the collectible ones, all 8 came from Turn On. This is what
That was not me, but that is a good.
maybe it was
game
someone in
to,
the
do it.
community that I read that did that. Yeah, that was the game when I mentioned before about Turn On. I was milking it for achievements or for contests. Sorry, this is one of the examples. All 8 came from that because like every single achievement in that game is flagged as a collectible. And day 7, nothing too special. I noticed I was missing one achievement in fighting Vipers, so I got that and got the completion. I don't know why I never went back and did the final achievement on that. And I also got 3 achievements in Injustice, the DC fighter game. Really easy. 3 super easy achievements. I think I was on the game for 5 minutes to get it.
You wasted 3 eye achievements for the Gamertag challenge.
There's plenty of games. I just wanted to get them, get out. Not to mention, I want to play Injustice, so that's not going to be a game, or that will be a game I'll go back to. It's not like I wasted them. I'm fine with that. Yeah, after this, I'm going to be continuing with Spelling Out Christmas. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. I'm not planning for that. I just take it as I go. And how about you, Corey? How are you doing?
Well, I'm not one of you 3 slackers slacking, so I am done with the challenge. We left off on day 9, and I was completed on day 9. So 10, 11, and 12 were left. 10 was platforming, and so I used a new game called On a Roll 3D. It's a play anywhere title, and I'm actually enjoying it, except for the past 2 hours where I've been hating it. I got 10. I got 8 out of 10 achievements from On a Roll 3D, and the other 2 came from a game that I streamed called Battle Princess Madeline.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And that was a interesting game, but it's definitely a platformer. I don't even know how to describe it. It's an adventure-y type game that's set in the older kind of graphics. Who was it? I think it was Smitty said it was called like Ghouls and Goblins. It was kind of like based off that. I don't know. El probably knows. Koosh probably knows.
Oh, yep. I'm familiar.
That's an old person game.
So that was a super easy day to get for platforming. Day 11 was indie games, ID at Xbox titles. Those are obviously achievements galore. That probably been one of the days I have the most valid achievements to pick from. So I just kind of went down the list, and I hit up Horizon. What is this called? Horizon Shift Turbo? Horizon Chase Turbo. I got one in that. I got one in this really weird shoot 'em up called Dagon Feveron. I don't understand that game whatsoever.
Huh.
I got 3 achievements in the Infinity Runner game, the Space Wolves in Space Runner, which if you start that game up, by the way, you get like 9 achievements for breathing.
Super quick.
And then for whatever reason, I chose another Play Anywhere game that has a guide, and it's super quick. It's called Samsara, and it's a point and click to go puzzle thing. You move pieces to different areas on this very tiny section, and then the character tries to cross it, and it obviously gets harder and harder. But there are guides out there, and it was super quick to get those ID at Xbox games. Now we come to day 12. Day 12 was by far the hardest one for me to do, and it was the only one I didn't do on that day, because we had to get 12 letter achievements, and I didn't have any. I had a few games that had a lot of achievements, but I didn't really want to play them, like Master Chief Collection. What was another? Westerado had a few, but really my day 12 is just a hodgepodge of stuff. I hit on a roll again, because it had some Sonic Forces, Cars 2. I went back to. I got one in Halo. I got one in Goat Sim, Riptide G2, another one in that Dagon Fever shoot 'em up game, one in Westerado, and then two, which I got my last two last night, was from Big Crown Showdown, which Kush, Matriarch, and myself played and streamed for the Achievement Hunting 101 Mixer channel. So if you want to see the video on demand, you can do that if you just navigate to that channel and see us playing this game for the first time, which, no surprise, it turned into a mini boosting session. So it was fun. If you want to know about the game, I would classify it as a online and local competitive multiplayer game. Basically, there's it's like an auto scroller level. So if you fall behind or if you get too far ahead, you're going to die. And you have so many lives, and your lives equate to points. And once you get to points, you get 20 points, you are declared the winner. But along the way, there are traps and coins and chests that you can get, and they help you buy stuff in the in-game store and go towards achievements. And some people couldn't make it and may have fell asleep, but
Darn it, Michelle.
the rest of us stayed up and made it a really quick boost. And now we only have local achievements as well as the grindy achievements left. One thing to note about Big Crown Showdown is you need 4 controllers for the completion, and you also need 4 people to play online in one match for the completion. So there's at least 4, 5, 6 of us that have access to this game. If you ever get it, we could probably help you with the online thing. It's really quick, and then just make sure you have 4 controllers to do local, and I think it's going to be probably a 4 to 6 hour completion after the grindy stuff. Kush, do you have any thoughts on Big Crown Showdown? Kind of turned this into a mini review, but that was the end of my Christmas thing.
No, I think that was pretty good wrap up of it. There's not a whole lot to add to it. The game isn't that deep. It's it's good for maybe getting a couple people over and just kind of playing it maybe once or twice. It's kind of forgettable. I kind of liken it to iDarb. I know some people were working on that recently as well. It's a fun game while you're in it, and it's good to laugh and knock people off ledges and then miss them and knock yourself off the ledge instead. So there was a lot of laughter there, and I think part of the laughter was trying to do math at like 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning, whatever time it was. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a easy boost, I think, and you can definitely help other people out while you're doing it. So yeah.
As far as specifics go of the achievements, it's very back heavy. You'll get, as long as you do the local stuff, you'll get 500 gamer score from 16 achievements, and then the last 3 achievements I think contain 500 gamer score. Obviously they are the grindy ones, such as purchasing all the hats, running a marathon. So your character's obviously running this whole time that you're moving, and so you have to get 26 miles. And I don't think there's any tracker, but the achievement tracker does work, which is a major plus. And then, like I said, there's objects in your way. You can knock them off the track. You have to do 1,000 of those. But otherwise, it's like getting your first coin, getting your first knockout, completing a game, joining a custom game, making a custom game, completing an online match, play with 4 people online, complete a round without punching. Very easy stuff as far as this list goes. So.
We also discovered that some things were host only. So some of those achievements are host
Mhm.
only, and some you can get, while you're playing online together. And some of them you only get when you're the one setting up the map. So you do probably want to be aware of those. If you see an achievement is not popping, it's probably because you're not the host.
Yeah, that was very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, one was like you have to, whenever you break open a chest, you get 4 coins, and if you collect all the coins, you get the achievement. But it turns out you have to be the one who made that game for it to work. At least that's how it worked in 3 out of 3 cases for us. So we thought we completed it the other way, but it was not popping. So
Yeah, it was the coins achievement, and it was also the finishing the race without crossing the finish line. So like making sure that you get to the end of the level and kill everybody, but don't actually jump through the finish line. That you can only get that when you're the host.
Yep.
Yuck, host only achievements.
But it's strange. You'd pointed out that this game does have achievement tracking. So shame on you, every other game that doesn't have achievement tracking.
That's right. But yeah, to bring it back, that was my 12 days, and I am done with it.
Congrats.
Way to go. Did you finish on the 12th day?
But it's just a few days after.
All right, guys. I think that'll about do it for the show then. Unless anyone else has anything they'd like to add.
I'd just like to say we've been talking a lot. A common theme tonight has been boosting groups. And I know that you had made mention of that earlier. I think we should just once again say, hey, if you want to join us, and you've heard about any of the boosting groups that we're talking about, I don't think anyone is averse to getting new blood in. But also, if you don't want to game with us and you've got friends, or you want to find some friends, some fake friends to play games with, why not put a request out there for a game you're interested in grouping up with? Get some like-minded people that just want the achievements, don't necessarily want to play for fun. Unless your fun is achievements, and check out on the Discord. Try to reach out and get some people together.
Yes, for sure. Discord link is discord.io/ah101, and if for whatever reason that link doesn't work, you could always message one of us, and we'll get you a instant invite to get you in. But yeah, actually, now that you say that, we just added, although this isn't technically a boosting group, but a lot of us have started talking about Idle Champions, game kind of like Clicker Heroes.
Thanks,
which we
Koosh,
all
again.
loved.
Yeah, it's an Idle Addict support group channel.
Everyone in the Z to Z community, well, I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of people, not L, loved Clicker Heroes, and Idle Champions, it's another game similar to it. I can't wait to start it. But yeah, that's one game we just added. Like Koosh said, if you have a game, whatever it is, and you want some people to boost with you, drop it in the Discord. We'll create a new room. If it gets traction, we're more than willing to create a room. That way you guys can have your area to talk and set it all up. Like I mentioned before, I know we're going to do Sea of Thieves. Crap. What else do we have planned? There was a few others that we were talking about that we wanted to get going.
Borderlands.
Crap. Oh, yeah.
Borderlands.
See? You said crap, and you thought of Borderlands, so it makes sense.
Yes, Borderlands. We want to get going. Probably going to start back up with Halo. Yeah. I mean, the games go on and on. There's such a long list. If you need help, someone is here to help you. But yeah. You got anything else to add? Coriel?
Yes, I do. If you are part of the Discord, you were already notified, but it will be in the show notes in case you aren't on our Discord. But we have launched a survey just for the show and for the community. We want to hear your feedback on how we're doing, and really the only reason we put this out there is because we want honesty and we want to improve. And so if even if your feedback is to say you're doing great, everything's perfect, that's fine. Send that to us and let us know. But if there's honestly something you don't like, we want to hear it, and we want you to be brutally honest. So it's anonymous, so hopefully that helps motivate you to be honest. And you're not going to hurt any of our feelings. Obviously, we don't want to keep doing anything that is not cared about or ignored for whatever reason. People obviously don't want to hear about skunks and coons and other critters of the night so much, but that's fine. Now we know we don't need to maybe talk about them as much. But if we get a good response from this survey, which is going to be open through the end of the year, we'll probably remind you one more time, because we will have another show next week. I would like to personally host a giveaway just to show appreciation for you participating. Obviously, I won't know who is doing it from being anonymous, so it'll be kind of an open giveaway. And if you want to even have a chance at it, just please look at the survey and just send us some feedback and help us improve for you. So
yes,
that's it.
Serious submissions, please.
Yeah.
I mean, if I suck, tell me I suck. Please help me improve. I'm all in. I want to make this better for you. If making the show better means kicking L off and your name's not Saucy Slingo, by all means, let us know. But yeah.
I would also say don't sleep on the B-sides just because they're called B-sides. The one that just came out with Elroy and special guest Freemhole, I thought was quite excellent. That hour flew by. They told some great stories, and they were mostly achievement related even. So give it a chance. Check out all of our stuff. Thank you.
All right, but yeah, that does it for our show, guys. As always, if you can like and review the show, helps us out a bunch. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. That way you get all these shows automatically downloaded for your listening pleasure. As always, you can tweet the show on Twitter at Achievements101. You can follow the Mixer at AH101. You can follow all of us on TA, Xbox, Discord, all the places. Big L, Rocker Dude 5012, Koosh Moose, and I'm Fufu Cuddly Poof. And once again, just the Discord link. We want to hear from you. We want to talk and hang out with you guys. It's discord.io/AH101. All right, guys. Talk to you next week. See you later.
Segment with Matriarch, Exe the Hero, and Elroy and Exe. Love that guy.
What's up, everybody? A very sequential segment is back for more of our usual list-based shenanigans, but we're going to do something a little different this week. Before we get into that, though, let me introduce my co-hosts for the week. After a long absence, Elroy OMJ, missed that guy, is back. How you been, Elroy?
Freedom! It's over. I have my life back. I am like psyched. I am so excited to live again. I forgot, what it looks like to live a life. I've been locked away. And even as I say that, I know that what I went through is nothing compared to what someone else that you're about to talk to went through. So I'll probably just leave it at that.
I'm sure Kelly is glad to have you back, too.
She did mention that today. Today is our first weekend that she's got, to see her husband. So that's crazy. That's awesome.
All right. Well, you already alluded to it, but we have a very special guest joining us this week. So with that, I would like to welcome to the stage Mr. RedmptionDenied, everybody's favorite Pac-Man ghost, winner of GTASC 2018 solo, and runner-up on the team side. How you doing, Red? We're glad to have you.
I'm doing all right. A little bit tired, but I'll see if I can get through.
Can't blame you for being tired.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, we're going to do something a little different this week. rather than a top 5 and an honorable mention, the 3 of us are just going to share 2 things from this year's GTASC tourney thingy that really stood out to us for some reason or another. And since these are more personal in nature, our typical list format just wouldn't really make sense. So instead, I finally get to live my dream and announce that this is the list. This is the one where we get to do our top pick. So take that, Elroy. You said I could never do this.
Number 3. So, and it's actually really good that I hear Red on the other line. I was starting to wonder if he actually was a robot, man, because, man, you are a machine. But so it's good. I was expecting to hear that one voice, the Microsoft Sam voice, that kind of
text to speech or something going on.
Yeah, I was like, surely no mortal could put up those numbers that you put up that final week. Good Lord, man.
Yeah, I got a little too much free time on my hands, but so I'm saying, like, why are you trying to keep it to just top 2? Like, I've been doing this for 7 years. I don't know if I can just keep it to 2 things.
That's what we were actually saying last week. Like, I did this 2 years ago and then this year, and that drained me. Elroy did it this year, and he's drained. You do this every year. It's impressive.
God, man. It is.
That's
you have our
certainly
respect.
one word for it.
We'll go with impressive.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Well, I will start us off with my second place memory, not my top pick yet, which is kind of a bittersweet note, but with a happy ending, I suppose. So it's no secret to anybody who's been paying attention that my GTASC run was cut a little shorter than I wanted it to be. I fell for the trap, but we're not going to dwell on that, because anybody who's...
It's a trap!
It's a trap! Anybody who's been paying attention also knows that I got over it pretty quickly and came out just fine on the other side. So what I am here to talk about is just the, general awesome show of support and camaraderie that happened after that. So, unlike Elroy with his Student Achievement Factory, I keep my gamertag under lock and key from my students. They nag me daily, and I tell them, not going to happen, Broheim. I treat that like my phone number. I would never give it out. So, none of my friends and family are into the achievement hunting scene, and I don't really know anybody other than Kelsey who gets the whole competition. Who does get it, though? Our friends in the Discord chat certainly get it. So after I got cut, which happened at 11 a.m., by the way, my 5th period class starts at 10:57 a.m., so I had to teach 5th period about the Crucible as I'm actively getting cut and then after getting cut. So that was by far the worst lesson of my teaching career. But
I would love to know more details about this. Like, I'm sure that you were just very unpleasant. Is that the best way to put that?
No, I just kind of was quiet. We did our warm-up. I put that on the board. The warm-up should have taken like 3 minutes, and I just made it take like 15 as I just sat there like heavy breathing. Like,
I'm just picturing like everyone sitting there and like you can just cut the tension with a knife, and then all of a sudden you just start bawling or something weird, some outlet of emotion, and everyone's just looking at you like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it was like the worst lesson of my teaching career by far. No one knows the Crucible, but it was like the end of Act 2, so big tension, Elizabeth's accused of being a witch, and it's supposed to be dramatic, and I'm just not on board with it, but that's besides the point. So I obviously...
Yeah, she's a witch, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So I had to teach. I couldn't check my phone for the next 52 minutes, so... When I did, just tons of comments and sympathy and condolence, whatever word you want to come up with. Tons of people just DMing me, and, it made it a little easier to deal with at the time. It was nice to know I had people looking out for me. So like I said above, though, Kelsey was the only one I knew in person who, like, really got how devastated I was. So it was nice to have, my internet friends and crew, back there, or backing me up. So that was appreciated.
I was legitimately concerned about you, man. I sent you a message and it was like radio silence. Yeah. I guess I was in the 52 minutes or so, but it felt like forever. Like I'm like, are you all right, man? and just crickets.
Yeah,
nothing.
That 52 minutes took even longer for me. And I just sat there like, what do I even do now? Like, I don't know. But then, like, I checked the forums over on TA, and, like, random internet strangers were like, oh, man, X, that sucks. Like, sorry to hear that. Like, oh, you had a good run anyway. So, like, I don't know. It was just nice. I never had a single conversation with these people, and they're, like, virtually patting me on the back. So it sucked for, like, 2 days until I got over it. But it was just awesome to know that I have that group of people that I consider friends and that I know will cheer me up.
Well, Red, you said you've been doing this for 7 years. Have you ever been eliminated? I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at your track record, but have you ever suffered defeat in this tournament?
I mean, I've lost several team-based ones, but I've generally made it to the end every time. There was one exception, but I'll get to that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess it's time for my number 2 then. It's that time of day.
Number 2, Elroy's.
That's old people. We do number 2 every time, same day. But anyhow, before I start, I wanted to say congrats to Redemption and I, because right now he and I, we're battling it out for the number 1 spot in week 48, or period 48.
Post GTASC.
Yeah, the post GTASC, in that weird little awkward time frame that appears before they take the tournament down. So, yeah, I'm coming for you, Red. You better be careful. I'm gonna, pass you in or something.
Possibly.
Anyhow.
I'm rocking that like negative 2.0 ratio from all that Minecraft
I saw that.
decay.
That was crazy. You had like negative 10K when it rolled over.
So, all right. So anyhow, I guess my second memory that I'm going to remember about this thing is that I will always remember just how much I love and hate this thing. I have like a love-hate relationship with it. And which is sad, because I've only been doing this for 1 year. Again, I feel like such a noob. Y'all have been doing this for so much longer than me, but it only took 1 year for me to realize what's going on. And I love this competition, and I hate this competition. So for me, my first foray into it, it was, at the beginning of the year. And so it started really slow. So I'm used to putting up just normal numbers, like 8,000 a week. That's usually kind of my norm, somewhere between there, 6,000 to 8,000 a week. And this competition starts, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, all right, I signed up for this thing. I didn't get to do it last year because I didn't know how to TA. So I am so ready. I figured out how to sign up for a tournament. I'm so proud of myself. And then it started, and like the elimination point was, I think, like 100 points or something like that. I mean, it's just like, what like all these people got 0 or negative numbers, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, and so it was just like so slow at the start, and it just continued like that for weeks and weeks, where I'm just thinking, like, one day of gaming you could advance, and these people are just not doing anything. And so I started like sandbagging, because I've told my strategy in a different episode, where I was taking all these easy games that were coming out and I just wouldn't play them. So I really do enjoy terrible games, and I enjoy making fun of those terrible games. And so I would buy one, and then I would just basically stand on the sidelines, and as everyone made fun of it, like, oh, this game's terrible. And so I'm just not allowed to do it because I haven't played it. And so I'm just like, I get real sad, and Elroy was alone. But
Thomas was alone?
there was, yeah. And so I was saving them, and I was actively trying to not get gamer score. And that was not enjoyable, because that's not what I want to do. And so I'd occasionally have an affair with an ACA game, but mostly I stayed loyal to my strategy of not playing these little easy picking games. And so in the summer, the tournament picked up a little bit more slightly. It was a little more demanding. You actually had to try a little bit to stay in it. But that wasn't an issue, because I'm off for the summers. So I had as many hours as I needed. So again, I found myself more sandbagging. I guess I could have been smart and did what Red apparently did all year, which is preload. I guess I should learn something about that. But finally,
you don't want to do that. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Those are too advanced strats for you anyway, Elroy.
Yeah, I was just like, I kept trying to figure out how to preload. I was like, well, I guess I'll just wait to pop this final achievement. By then, it's just like one achievement for worth 100 points. I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like that's really going to make much of a difference. But yeah. And so once the fall got there, I actually started enjoying it. It was a really fine line there, because it went from not being competitive at all in my mind to being fun. Like, it was competitive. It was, there was this window where it was a good weekly input you would need to get to advance. And then the pendulum just swung quickly, and it went to the other direction. So it went from like not competitive at all, and then it just barely, like maybe 2-3 periods, and then it swung all the way to the other side, and it's like, holy, I gotta get some numbers in here. And so I don't remember what week it was, but sometime in the summer, I did get my first scare. I had been sandbagging so bad, and I almost got eliminated in the summer, I was going to be so freaking embarrassed. I mean, like a teacher gets eliminated in the summer, it was going to be terrible. I would have never lived that one down. And it made me angry. But in that scare, I realized how vested I was in this competition. It brought me very little joy to advance every week, but oh my God, if I almost got eliminated, I about, I fell out of the chair. I was just like, almost scared, shaking, like, oh my God, like I almost got eliminated. And so each week I would just cruise through and no problems. But the 3 weeks that I almost got eliminated are the ones that stand out in my mind because it just shook me so bad. And so the last few weeks of the competition was a bane of my existence. I've already discussed what a terrible influence on my life the whole tournament was in regards to anything that I hold precious, like my marriage, my health, my job, et cetera, et cetera.
Those are all overrated.
So no need to revisit how the detriment that it put on all those things. But I guess what I'm trying to say for my number one is that, or I guess number two. Yeah, for my number two is that it was something that I didn't enjoy all year long, but yet it was something that I refused to cut out of my life. And so I'm mystified. I like to do some self-reflection at times. And so I'm mystified as to why I let this detrimental aspect continue to destroy me for almost a full year and full well knowing that I'm just going to sign up for it again in January. And it's like, in what?
In June.
Oh, I thought it was sign up in January.
You got to learn to TA, man.
I don't know, man. I think the point is that they put meth into this tournament, and it's like, the side effects in meth. It's very detrimental to your life, and I guess it's probably fun. I don't know. I've never done meth. I'm just not a meth head, but I think it's supposed to be fun, right? And until life gets real again, and everything like that. But I think there's some correlation there between this tournament and meth.
You just went there. Okay.
That's my number two.
All right. Red, you're up.
Any questions? Any questions?
It's hard to follow up the meth comparison, but I'll see what I can do. Like I said, I've been doing this for a little bit longer than you guys, so my list might be just a little bit more than 2 points, but I'll try to keep it tight. So
Elroy doesn't. So have it.
Yeah. Number 381. The time I scratched the side of my Kinect for a good 10 plus hours to register perfect lines in U-Star 2 and the movies, a game that wasn't even completable just to preload a 50-point achievement worth about 1,400 TA. Number 380. The time I used a blanket to burn over 10,000 calories in Your Shape Fitness Evolved 2 different times, NTSC and Japanese import, while I was eating a sandwich. Number 379. The time I played Just Dance Kids 2 times, NTSC and PAL version. Number 378, let's cheer. Let's not. No, really. As far as this year go, it would definitely be teaming up with Smirnov. We haven't ever really communicated before, and I wasn't really even planning on doing the team side again, but I figured I'd just take a shot and see if he was up for coming out of retirement for one more go after it, after he won the original iteration, which was also 2-man teams, I believe. I don't remember how many years ago that was, but I told him I pretty much had no expectations of winning the team side, but as long as we just do what we do more or less every year, we should have a decent shot at making the finals. So, I know he wanted to keep his top spot in completions over Celtic Force. I don't really think he cares about the gamer score. I'm sure it's nice to be number 1 overall, but I don't think he really, plans on maintaining that. He's always been about the completions. Mm-hmm. But so, I knew he wasn't going to do any real preloading, which was fine because, his normal scoring basically allowed me to hold back everything I could for the last 2 weeks, so it worked out well. I mean, I haven't always had the best of luck with teammates in the first few competitions I did. I got nothing against anybody. Real life happens to everybody at some time or another. But, several times we were down a man or two to say, someone has to move during finals. That happens. Someone gets their account locked for several months for buying too many things out of region. That happens. Someone deciding the moment the competition started was the best time to boost seriously 3.0. Somebody playing Life is Strange and decided to quit gaming. Fun fact, 7 years ago was technically my first GTASC. It was actually ran off the site. It was still they still use TA to calculate it, but they ran it off site. They had a set number of teams who could enter, so I believe they could only eliminate 2 teams every week until the end. So most of the teams that joined were entered into a random lottery draw to see who got to compete, which of course my random team at the time did not make the cut. So they set up a B-side for all those teams that could still play along if they chose, kind of like just for fun and UHH, which I was fine with. And then one of my teammates turned on their privacy settings week 1 and got us DQ'd. So
Jeez.
fond memories. So all that's to say, it's really nice to have someone as completely reliable and a teammate as Smirnov and not have to actually feel the obligation to be like the top scorer every single week to survive, which I've kind of dealt with in the past a little too much.
Yeah. For my next team, I'm just looking for someone that can cross the line of mediocre. I mean, my standards are really low at this point. I had someone that had life happen 24/7. So, yeah. So yeah, hit me up if you're interested for a team. Anyone. Just have to be mediocre.
Just have to actually play Xbox and not play PlayStation.
Yeah. The bar is set really low at that point. Let's just do a friendly reminder that Elroy did not know he was eliminated from team for like a month.
That's a fair assessment. I'm so glad that everyone in Discord reminded me constantly that, or I probably would. I'm not sure when I would have found out. So,
I can just see you now, like counting down to the finals. We got this, Foof. We got this.
Oh goodness!
All right.
Yeah. Like seriously, just let me know. I'm looking for a teammate. Yeah.
He does not offer meth. Just
yeah. You do realize the next year is all about ratio games, and Neo Geos are basically worthless, right?
Yeah. So I'll probably be the mediocre one this time. The script has been flipped.
Week 1, the following gamers have been eliminated: Elroy, OMJ.
Oops.
Whoops.
It's like, what are you talking about? I put up 5,000 gamer score. I'm killing it.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a whopping 12 points right there, Elroy.
Yeah, 12 points. What happened to my 5,000? Yeah, 12.
All right.
Oh,
are we ready for this? The moment I have been waiting for. X's top pick! I have been waiting so long! I don't even actually have a top pick. I just wanted to say that.
Well, you just say it again. I may have meant that much,
Okay. X's top pick! Do I actually need to say something?
No, I don't know. People might wonder.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I got a backup just in case. In that case, my top pick has actually been mentioned on the podcast before. Just as a quick recap, back in June, in periods 23 and 24, I dropped 36K and 31K TA respectively for no other reason than I felt like it. I know Elroy mocks me for this with the whole grasshopper thing.
Grasshopper.
Yeah. But those 2 weeks are ultimately kind of what put my heart back in the competition. I know Elroy sort of said it's not competitive really until summer. And I was just sort of at the point where I just kind of wanted to play and not focus on it. So school just got out, and I figured I was going to go out with a bang. And with 36K in a week in June, I would say that was a bang. But we already know that I didn't win because somebody else, who shall be ignored, was also trying to score big that week. And he wasted 5K in bonuses just to beat me to the top spot, which, piss off. But, what the heck? I said, screw him, and I'll do it again. And do it again, I did. And the next week, I was able to earn that coveted overachiever top spot. So why is this actually my favorite GTASC memory? There's sort of a bunch of things that go along with it. So even though that competition for top spot didn't actually matter, just that ultra competitiveness sort of reignited my passion for the contest. Just like Elroy said, when it got to fall, that's what made him like it more. It was once I realized that I'm actually competing for something, anything, that's what kept me in the competition, basically for the rest of it. Additionally, go for it.
Question on that. The top achiever bonus you got for that, did you ever get to spend that, or did that go away when the dreaded cut happened?
I think I did get to use that one because I was just starting at the top and then working my way down. So it would have been my most recent 5 for the unused ones. I'm not sure what they were.
Okay. Yeah.
But
that would be a ham with an S and an E if you did.
Sure would be a shame. Oh man, what was I saying? All right, so when you get top spot, you also get to do the interview that I am fully aware like 4 people actually read every week. But I really like doing interviews, so I really just wanted to do that interview. So that was cool. If you look at the numbers from those 2 weeks, though, most of my best days in my entire gaming career, history, whatever, came during those 2 weeks. So that's cool to look back on. Some other cool stats for all you number crunchers out there, which is totally not Elroy. So in 2 weeks, I earned about 5% of my total achievements, 7% of my total gamer score, and close to 10% of my total TA at the time, all in 14 days. And those numbers totally pale in comparison to, what's done during finals week. So that's not impressive in the grand scheme of things. But to me, I'm really proud of those 2 weeks. And ultimately, it means nothing because no one's ever going to look at what was Exe the Hero doing in June 2018. But I will know it's there. It will make me happy. And I'm just super proud of it. Or super ashamed. I'm not actually sure. But I'm leaning towards proud. Most importantly, and this is way out there, but pay attention, folks. So most importantly, that week of scoring put me on my big push to 600,000 gamer score. Upon reaching 600,000 gamer score, I posted woo, 600K or something like that as my status on TA, which led some random dude named Elroy OMJ to send me a message. He said, hey, congrats on 600K. Nice work. So I wrote him back, thanked him, and we ended up chatting a bit, and then he's like, hey, I have this new Discord server. We just started a podcast. Here's the invite. And, well, the rest is history. So never in a bajillion years did I see podcast host in my future, but here I am. And this whole thing, literally the reason you guys are listening to me right now, all happened because I decided to go hard during weeks 23 and 24. So big points, impressive stats, and some pretty cool people make this my top GTASC memory. And P.S. for anyone who cares, I hit 600K gamer score on the nose using an achievement called Expert Gamer. But then I remembered that I'm actually really bad at video games, so I got 700K using what are the buttons? Because that's way more fitting. Sounds like tasty carbs.
Oh, no, that was just some number crunching. I'm sorry, I came in a little late with that, but you were crunching numbers. I had to give you some number crunching there.
That was almost as late as you snapping during my...
Well, you're on a roll. I didn't want to interrupt completely. Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought I'd have some awkward eating at the end there.
By the way, that random dude named Elroy OMJ, that was you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, it's funny you mentioned that because as I was looking over your thoughts in the script thing, Majiggy, I was like, oh, that dirty dog. I was going to mention that. I was going to say, oh, hey, X, you realize if it wasn't for, the GTASC tourney thingy, we may not have met, kind of a thing. So, but actually one of my regrets from the tournament is that we didn't meet sooner because I think we would have tore up the team thing and at least got 10th or something. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I feel like you should have one of your students just put the numbers together and see how we would have done in team.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we might have topped, the number one gamer in the world in the, what are you read? Number 3 or 4?
Number 4.
Number 4. Yeah. Number 1 and 4 together. I'm not sure that we could have toppled them, but you know what? We could have at least made the podium somewhere. Yeah. The finals. So, my number 1 is
number 1.
I wanted to have a positive thing after that terrible first one, and so kind of highlight the ups and downs. And so here's the ups. I learned how to Minecraft for the GTASC tourney thingy. So, well, technically, I learned how to mine achievements in Minecraft. So, like X said last week, he has no idea how to play Minecraft. I don't have any idea how to Minecraft, but I can do a walkthrough pretty good, and so it wasn't always that way though. So leading up to the tournament, I had dabbled with Minecraft a little bit on my iPhone. I was using it mostly to, in case I thought I wasn't going to get home in time, to keep my streak alive. So I was like, ooh, I need an achievement, and then I was like, well, there's only so many games on the iPhone, so then I'd fire up the old Minecraft and punched a tree. I figured out how to do that. I followed the walkthrough for that on how to punch a tree, and then I got some, like the wood that flew out of it or whatever. And so, got my achievement. Then I closed it, and then another time I did something. And so anyhow, I couldn't really figure it out. I kind of got it. Finally figured out how to put worlds on my phone, but I couldn't really. I don't know. It was just a dumpster fire. So all that changed with my number 1 memory of this tournament, which was an afternoon spent with Waka. And so, if you don't know Waka, you should. You should know him. You should know Waka. But if you don't, he's a delightful Swedish guy who's very delightful to listen to. He's got an awesome accent.
Delightful?
Awesome guy.
Is it delightful?
He's delightful. He's delightful. He's just delightful. It's just wonderful. Salt of the earth. Did I mention he's delightful? And so we hooked up on Discord voice, which I was surprised worked really well for an international call. But it was the Sunday before the big cut from 20 to 10, and we were on the phone together for probably 3 to 4 hours, I think. So let me paint a picture for you. So I've been told, and I've kind of grown to accept that I might have a slight accent. So I'm good with that.
I totally know where this is going. But...
And so now, imagine Waka with his Swedish accent. So he's got his accent. I got my accent. Now picture the Swedish guy trying to teach the Southerner how to Minecraft. So I was a lost ball in the high weeds, and even though sometimes Waka didn't know exactly what the English translation was for a couple of things, the translation of size of disappointment, that translated perfectly. And he, bless his heart, he remained positive despite me giving him nothing. I gave him nothing as a student for the first good 25, 30 minutes. So when we started, he walked me over to this rail cart, and he's like, okay, now get in the cart. And so I didn't know how, really. I just knew that I was supposed to get in the cart, so I just kind of ran over to the cart, and it ended with me shoving the cart like warp speed down this track without me in it. And then as it like disappeared over the horizon, Waka, with disappointment in his voice, said, well, I guess we have to do another one. And so he was just so positive. And so then we moved over to this lion pit thing. So I was supposed to tame these lions, and so I had some fish I knew it was somehow involved. So I just kept dropping the fish all over this thing. There's just be dead fish all over the base of this cage like thing. And then he's like, no, you have to feed them to him. And so I'm like, well, I put them on the ground for him, but that wasn't working. And so then I just started hitting them in the face with them. So I'm holding the fish, and I'm just like punching these lions in the face with this fish. I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. And so he's like, well, just keep trying. And so meanwhile, he went and like built a mine cart or something like that. Somehow he got the cart back on the track, because I asked him if I was supposed to run after the cart. And he's like, oh, no, that thing's gone. And so he built another one or something. And so there was a second cart on the rail. And so finally I had given up on how to do the line thing, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of this pit. So I'm like build a block on the ground so I can jump on it to jump out of there. And so when I did that, it was like jailbreak. And so all these cats came flying out of this pit, and apparently they're programmed to jump in minecarts and take off. And so one of them jumped in the minecart and took off with the minecart that Waka had just arranged for me to jump in. So needless to say, there's additional disappointment that crept into Waka's voice as he said, this isn't going very well so far, is it? And he just stuck with it. I finally got better. It was like a blind hog finding an acorn. And I finally got a few of these Chivos. I got some momentum and started figuring out kind of the mechanics of Minecraft. But boy, it was a slow start. And it was worthwhile, because it really helped me make the finals, because I'm not sure how far if I would have made it otherwise, because those stacks, man, I the next day I went and rented went to Redbox and got the Xbox One copy of it and got all those, even skipped my soccer game to do this crap on Minecraft. And so I got all the stack there, got all the Windows one, and then I started it on my phone even and got a lot of that. So if you look at my tag now, 3 of my top 5 games that I've got the highest gamer score in are all Minecraft. I mean, I don't normally play games like that, but there we are, that high ratio stuff. So anyhow, I just want to say thank you to Waka for your undying patience. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that conversation we had all day. And thank you for standing by me, even though I gave you no reason to do so. I think most people would just hung up on me and just counted that one in the L column. So anyhow, so that was my number one memory.
Let's also not forget that whatever time you were doing that, Waka's like 6 or 7 hours ahead of you.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. He was staying up late, and I was just like, man, you probably should go to bed. I was trying to tell him he should go to bed, and he's like, no, he was like in it to finish the job. It was crazy. It was awesome. I mean, delightful. Did I mention he's delightful? Yeah, Waka Peel, man, delightful guy. Thank you, Waka.
Yeah, it actually came through for us a little bit too at the end there, because I was kind of throwing up the bat signal for anybody for like the very last Minecraft update that came out, like with a day left in finals, if anybody knew of any worlds or solutions for those. And he linked in Discord that someone had created a world and was actually able to knock all those out in like probably the last 6 hours of the week. Get a nice little boost of inflated ratio there at the end.
Yeah, between that and what was the other one, Gems of War, like that was a very nice pick-me-up right at the last minute.
Yeah, I think that one pretty much had tanked by the end of the week, but any title updates are always a nice little bonus inflation that you have to deal with the following week. But hey, if the competition is over, or at least it technically is over.
Don't tell that to Elroy. He's really milking this.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. Well, my top one is kind of obvious, but clearly the final week of the competition. I was actually fortunate enough to be able to take 2 weeks off of work, which helped immensely over semifinal and final week. It's actually the first time in about 16 years of working full-time that I've had more than a week off at any point.
Nice.
I'm sure a lot of people probably think it's a little ridiculous to take vacation time for something like this, but whatever. I've been nearly maxed out on PTO for a good while, and we kind of, we either use it or lose it, so might as well burn some up on a good old gaming marathon. So, with Smirnoff carrying the load, I pretty much was able to go all year long without playing basically any sub 3 hour completions. Also, mainly due to just having zero backlog of easy games to play after doing this for 7 years. So, and then, doing the whole preloading nonsense on top of that, I think I ended up with about 120,000 across over 120 different games. I had something of a stretch goal of doing 200,000 in a week, which I didn't really think I could manage. I think I've done right about 140,000 the previous 3 years in finals, so doing another 60K on top of that didn't really seem manageable, but there are no shortage of easy games coming out this year. By far has had the most of any, I believe. So, and then ultimately I ended up getting pushed like really hard by Sprinky Dink, an individual, and I know he's been at least casually preloading for the last 3 or 4 years, so I really wasn't sure how much he had lined up, and I really thought he was going to take it most of the week. So I ended up pushing quite a bit harder than I originally planned. I actually ended up, once I burned through most of my preloads, in all the sub 1 hour games, I just took a page right out of Mighty Mango's book from Achievement Fest. I just started diving every Neo Geo game I had, just whatever you can get in 20, 30 minutes, move on to the next one. Yep. And then, of course, the Minecraft gave me a nice little 20K boost in the last day or so, so I ended up the week with about 240,000 TA, 127,000 gamer score. And yes, I still got a good 6 hours of sleep each day, and I even left the house a couple of times, usually for Taco Bell.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad they weren't doing the competition for the Taco Bell 1X this week.
Yeah, it would have been appropriate.
That's funny you mentioned Sprinky, though, because I was, following along, and I feel like every time I reloaded the page, he'd go up like 50 gamer score and then 3,000 points. It's like, how the hell do you do that?
He had some really high level stuff saved up, like some definitely a lot more impressive stuff than I used, but I was more quantity over quality.
There you go.
I was definitely just all quantity. Yeah. That's all I had.
We should add with Elroy playing Minecraft, your ratio jumped from like a 1.05 to like 1.36 all in, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that was crazy, right? Shoot. Yeah.
Well, any last words?
Well, so what we got on the horizon for the GTASC tourney thingy next year? Apparently, y'all know more about it than I do.
Well, for anyone who is interested or paying attention, doesn't already know, It is, as Red said, moving strictly to TA differential next year. And it's actually starting in June. I don't know the logistics of starting in June. Do you, Red?
No, I'm really not sure on that one. I believe he said he's moving back to either 3 or 4-man teams. I don't think he's 100% decided on that either yet.
Yeah, he posted after this year ended, he's like, here's some things to look forward to next year. So it's definitely going to be a different type of competition entirely. You can't just scramble and play a Neo Geo to save yourself 5 minutes before the cutoff, Elroy. So we'll have to see what that brings. But that'll be next June, right, Elroy? June, the one with a J.
Gotcha. Yeah, J.
Actually, January has a J too. That was the other one with a J, and not July. That one right in the middle there.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed our GTASC recap VSS, and once again, on behalf of the entire Discord and the entire staff, thanks again for stopping by, Red. It was awesome to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. And really thanks for keeping the pun limit down to a bare minimum. Really appreciate that.
We aim to please.
Right on. Well, as always, don't forget, we're on the internet. You can find us there.
Use it. It's the internet. Just use it.
All right. Well, thanks again, y'all. Take care.
Welcome everyone to the second Waka's Weird Wonders Quickie of the Week mashup. Sticking to the stick theme, I've stuck with the recently re-released Sticktype. Sticktype was originally released in the Creators Program and was upgraded to an ID at Xbox Play Anywhere title on the 9th of November 2018. Sticktype is the result of a year-long experiment by its sole developer Michael Palotas to learn the ins and outs of game development. The project began in January of 2017, and the 365 days of development for Sticktype has been documented in a blog for those interested in learning about the process. The game itself is a graphically simplistic platformer with increasingly evolving and varied gameplay. It could easily be confused for a Metroidvania, with the player constantly getting new abilities, but while there is a map and backtracking is possible, it is never necessary. The nature of the game being an exercise in game development, new ideas are constantly thrown at you, but it manages to feel cohesive throughout despite the frequent changes of the player's abilities, with the one exception being the sudden auto-scrolling shoot-em-up section. I was impressed by Sticktype's variation and great platforming, but later learning how it was made makes it even more impressive to me. The graphics and boss fights are the only areas I found undercooked, but they are totally serviceable, and the bare bones story didn't bother me, as I'm not expecting much in that department from a 2D platformer. Sticktype was free for those who picked it up while it was in the Creators Program, but it is now $3 for some challenging but really good 2D platforming. The game's credits and store page even claims that all proceeds go to animal charities, which in my mind makes it an even better deal. Something that might be a sticking point for some is that the game's achievements all have randomized gamer scores, with none of them ending in a 5 or a 0. While the game can be completed in a few hours for those good at platforming, not everyone will be able to complete it, as it can be very challenging. Fortunately, there is a trick for making the game significantly easier, but it requires you to get quite far into the game. Throughout the game, you can find stick variants that makes new playthroughs easier, or harder in some cases, with various modifiers when you start a new game. The most powerful variant is the debug type, which makes the game trivial for most, as it makes you very hard to kill and it will show you where all the game's secrets are. To top it off, you can kill everyone in one hit, including bosses. The debug type can be found close to the top of the tower in the room Clockwork Place. Getting there will take you around 2 hours, highly varying depending on your platforming skills. Once the debug variant has been collected, Immediately start a new game with the debug type, and you can breeze through the first tower climb collecting every secret in less than an hour. Look at your map from time to time to make sure you haven't missed any secrets. The room name at the top of the screen will be red if there are any secrets in the room you are in. There is a single bugged room called Speedway Foyer with red text that does not have a secret. Make sure to not pick up the 50th stick variant in the room before the final boss before saving your game, as the game will end in one climb if you have collected all 50 stick variants when defeating the final boss. If you save your game with 49 stick variants, you can then pick up the 50th variant before going to the final boss, defeat him to end the game in one tower climb. Once you've gotten that ending, simply reload your save file and beat the boss again without collecting the 50th stick variant to begin a second tower climb. The second climb would be way more challenging, but with the debug type it is even easier than your first climb. If you choose to restart the game once you've found the debug type, this will likely be a sub 4 hour completion, worth 1000 gamer score and at the moment 2700 TA. I highly recommend Sticktype if you like platformers, but be aware that it can be a very challenging experience.
Hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Here at Very Sequential Segment and Achievement Hunting 101, we wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, so we decided to put something together for you.
Figured we'd mix it up a little bit more than we already mix it up.
So, we got a little poem for you. You know, X being the English teacher that he is, and me being the eloquent person that I am.
You know, the computer teacher who can use Rhyme Zone like a champ.
Yeah, so we decided to take, what is this poem? I don't know, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas? Is that the name of the
Night
poem?
Before Christmas, homie. I don't think the
All right.
homie's part of the title, but...
Yeah, bro. Twas the night before Christmas. AH 101 edition, I think is what we're going to call this.
There we go.
Yep. And so sit back, enjoy. Maybe this will put you in the Christmas mood. We want to apologize ahead of time when we flub up our line or or just begin laughing. We're trying to be professional here, but no guarantees. All right. So, you ready to go, X?
Let's do it.
All right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, AH 101 edition. By Elroy and Exe. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the Discord app, not a user was LMFAOing, not even that fighter chip chap. The Chivos were tracked on the Xbox Dash with care, in hopes that St. Elroy loved
that guy.
Soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of outlandishly large controller collections danced in their heads, and Mama in her Xbox onesie and I in my robe had just settled our brains for a long season of preloads.
When out on the lawn, there weft such a clatter. Was it a June bug? That's all that mattered. Much like an ACA game that's over in a flash, or like Big L's mic. That is typically trash.
The full moon on the bed of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to the werewolves below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear so awesome but a miniature sleigh and 5012 tiny little possum.
For an old-ass gamer, he was so lively and quick. I knew in a moment it must be that bro hick. More rapid than eagles, his chivos he did win, and he whistled and shouted, and was in bed by 10.
Brer Fug, Brer Sasha, let the name-dropping begin. Brer Mango, Brer Kushmoose, Brer Smitty and Chin. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Don't kick each other's nards and dash away all.
As numerous as F-bombs that Matriarch lets fly, or as pale as Fufu's skin, lighting up the night sky. So up the TA leaderboards, the Chivo hunters they flew, in honor of Child Obesity Month. Or was that back in June?
And then, more thorough than a Chronos chart can be, and more shameful than a ham plus an S and an E, I looked out the window and I swear that I saw Jolly St. Elroy complete with his southern drawl.
He was dressed for some hashtag gains, and he couldn't be prouder. His clothes were all covered, with giggle pig hair and some protein powder. A recent milestone had caused him to flex his back, and he looked like an energy saver and had a six-pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, his wife-beater, how gritty. His cheeks were like roses and caused Petart to say, pretty. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the mashed cauliflower stains all over his clothes were as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held happy and merry, and the smoke encircled his head like a cemetery. He had a chiseled face and no trace of a belly, and a strange tattoo that said, I love Kelly Kelly.
Aww. He wasn't chubby or plump, for he didn't eat carbs, and I laughed when I saw him, just like #IDarb. A wink of his eye and a bellow of thunder soon gave me reassurance like one of Waka's wild wonders.
He popped not a Chivo, but went straight to his work, announcing number 3 and interrupting X like a jerk. And laying a Taco Bell Xbox under Rocker Dude's tree, he mumbled, bro, and up the chimney he be.
He sprang to his sleigh, and a student achievement factory gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, in excitement he cried, Happy Christmas, y'all! Go score more than Redemption Denied.
Woohoo!
Woo! Merry Christmas, everybody.
And a Happy New Year. Number 3.
All
right. Thank y'all. Yeah. Right on. Okay.